Okay, we've spent plenty of time in this group talking about nervous system regulation, but let's be real. How much of it are we actually putting into action? Because we're stepping into Aries season, a time for implementation, for actually building the systems that stick. And if anyone knows how to do that, it is Jenelle Woodlief. Jenelle is a powerhouse in the world of nervous system regulation, blending holistic bodywork, somatics, energy healing, and vibrational sound therapy to help people move out of chronic dysregulation and into true embodied resilience. So today we're cutting through the noise. No more vague, just breathe advice. We're getting into real practical ways to regulate your nervous system in a way that actually fits your life. So, Janelle, when it comes to nervous system regulation and what it really is, there's a common misconception because people hear all the time that nervous system regulation and they think that it's just about relaxation or stress relief. But you've said that it's actually about resilience and flexibility. Can you break that down for us?
Yeah, definitely. So the nervous system serves a really important function in our bodies and in our lives. Like we need our nervous system to regulate between fight, flight, freeze, so that it can protect us, so that we can be protected, so that we can jump into quick action. But we also need to be able to easily and effortlessly transition into the rest and digest state. So nervous system regulation is not about being always in the rest and digest state. The nervous system regulation is really about the flexibility and adaptability to flow between the two, right? So that our body can still use that very important function of the fight, flight, freeze it states, but we can get ourselves back into that calm, nurturing, healing space easily.
That's such a good point. And because I love that, I think that um, that like it kind of has become like this over sensationalized point of view to like just like be kind of like slothed out at all times. And I
Yeah.
do think that like we have as a society kind of got stuck more often than not in like hyperdrive, and it is harder for us to come back down. But there is a time and place to come back up, and there is a purpose for our nervous system to come back into a more like heightened state. And so I think that I like that point of view that there is a time and place for that like flexibility to come up and down. There is a reason to for like that resilience and flexibility there. Um, because I mean, like we've all seen the Instagram posts about like cold plunges and breath work and tapping. So why do you think that it is that we know about all of these things and that they can help, but why do you think that it is that so many of us don't actually do them?
Well, I think it's a combination of we get bombarded with information, right? In this information age, social media, we're constantly told all the things that we should and could be doing. And so we almost get overwhelmed like, what should I try? What do I do? Oh, I'm just going to do everything because I'm told that this helps and that helps. And so too often we try too many things. And then we enter these thought loops where we shame ourselves because we can't get it. We can't do everything because literally we cannot do everything. And too often we try to do too much rather than keeping it really simple. And I think there's also a degree to which when these things are talked about, they're talked about in the sense that they work for everybody. But Cold plunges don't work for everyone. We all have different nervous systems. We all have different states of our dysregulation. It doesn't all look the same. My nervous system, fight or flight, looks different than yours. Some people have a tendency to move into freeze more. Some people have really frantic energy. Some people have really like low energy. These different nervous systems, states of being need different things to return to that homeostasis. And so when we're constantly given the message that we should just try everything, we either don't try anything, or we don't implement systems to allow us to implement the things that will help us. But then we also just don't know what is best for our own systems. And so we tend to try too many things and we're like, oh, this didn't work. Maybe I'm just not cut out for a calm nervous system. And so what is key is knowing what our own bodies and our own nervous systems need, and then keeping it simple. So we're not trying to do everything.
I mean, I have definitely fallen into that trap, like you said, of like trying everything, because I've definitely done like just like not giving any one technique a chance to really like do what it's supposed to do and like calm me down. Instead, I'm like trying to do all the techniques at once and instead get overwhelmed. And then I'm like more stressed out than I was in the first place, just
Yes.
trying to like do all the nervous system regulation. And then it's like, then at that point, it's like, I don't even know which nervous system technique fits me best because I didn't give any of them a chance. Um, and I think that you're so right. Like, not only do we not know which nervous system technique is right for us, but we don't know, like, not every nervous system needs, so many of us wouldn't even know the fact that not every nervous system needs the same thing. So, how can we start recognizing what our specific nervous system needs?
Well, a huge part of it is being able to tune into our bodies and how our bodies react in certain situations, how our bodies react when we have a stressful conversation with our spouse, how our bodies react when we're in the car and are experiencing someone's road rage. All those things play out in our bodies, but too often we stay in our heads and we don't drop into our bodies and notice where we're feeling it and how we're feeling it. And so that sense of noticing and tuning in and being able to identify what your body is feeling and what those sensations might be telling us.
Yeah, I mean, that's what it all comes back to, right? Like, I think that it's especially like just the constant go, like it gets so easy to get pulled out of our body. And like, I think something that I said to you recently over text even was like, just the act of reminding myself that this brain that just goes, just reminding myself that this brain that is constantly moving, reminding that brain that it is in a body that like
Yes.
needs to slow down, just
Yes.
reminding it every once in a while, like,
Yeah.
hey, like let's chill for a second. Um, but I do know that you have a resource coming out soon. Do you want to give a plug about that
Oh
and
my gosh, I
how
would love
to
to.
help people find out? Because I mean, I want to make sure that people know just like a natural segue into it, and then we can move on. But just like a natural plug, because I think that in because nervous system regulation has become such a buzzword in the wellness space online, that everyone that is doing something in the nervous system regulation space, it's always promoted as a one size fits all magic pill. No matter what it is that they're promoting, it's always, this will fix everything in your life. It will fix your skin. It will fix your stress levels at work. It will fix your relationships. It will fix your weight. It will fix everything. And that's always how it's sold. And it will do that no matter who you are and what your background is. And so I think that what you are offering is super important as like a wake up call for people that like not everybody's nervous system is the same. Because we do all come from different backgrounds and everybody's biology and nervous systems are different. So I just want to give you an opportunity here to talk about what it is that you are putting together and the offering that you have.
Thank you.
Yeah, of course.
So I created a quiz that leads you through a series of questions to identify what your nervous system type is, because we all have different types. And we may flow in between different types at different times as well. But at the end, it tells you what your type is, and it gives you some tips for what nervous system regulation techniques you can use specific to that type. It's so cool. I love it.
I cannot wait to like take that quiz and figure it out for myself. Cause like it's one thing to like think that you're like one type, but
Yeah.
because I feel like, because as like the bath ritual girly, it's not that like I created this business because I'm always calm. Like I know
No,
that my nervous system is like up here at all times. But
same. Girl, same.
but yeah, no. So I'm excited to like go through your quiz and see what it tells me. Because not only is it the quiz, but it also has like the complimentary, like this is your nervous system, but it also gives you like the
Mhm.
solution.
So I created a mini quiz that allows you to like really dive into your nervous system type and shows you like really step by step what you can do to regulate your particular type of nervous system. But more than that, it creates actionable systems for you to implement those techniques, keeping it really simple, right? Keeping it to like one or two techniques that you implement in. But if you can create the systems to make it happen really naturally and not get super overwhelmed, then you're actually going to practice them. So the mini course has habit formation steps, as well as this is like really cool, like the new wave of the world, actually has an AI specific bot that teaches you how to work with your own nervous system type and build the foundations for habits into the life that you have, into your own chaos, into your own schedule, allows you to actually do the things that you want to do. And then there's cool things like guided meditations for each type and reflection questions for each type, and a list of affirmations that you can use so that there's actually like tools that you can use and not just like, oh, I'm supposed to do this thing, specific to you, specific to your body, and how to actually do it. So I'm super excited.
That's absolutely incredible. I cannot freaking wait to see how that like, oh, I can't wait to get my hands on that. And something that like is super inspiring to me, not only as a fellow member within a like self-healing business owner arena, right? But like as a friend of yours is you're not just teaching this, you're living this, especially as a mom navigating chronic dysregulation in your kids. So, how has this specific work helped you hold yourself through that like very specific flavor of chaos?
Well, there's a thing called co-regulation. There's also a thing called co-dysregulation, right? When the people around us are chronically dysregulated, it's really easy to get pulled into that. I have two special needs kids, and their struggles show up as severe nervous system dysregulation. And so, in order to not get pulled into that, right? So I can be okay even when it's not okay. It is a constant practice. It's a constant practice of reminding myself that it's safe to be in my body, and that when chaos is happening all around me, that even though it feels safer to dissociate and to disconnect from my body, it's actually safer to be in my body. And that requires like practicing these things, not just talking about them, right? And it also requires me to be really compassionate with myself because I am human. We are all humans, and being human is hard. And as humans, we are going to navigate between all of those different nervous system states, right? And so, how do I bring myself back out of it when I do get pulled in and have that fight, flight, freeze response with my kids, and not get into a thought loop when I do, but be able to just very plainly and matter of factly say, oh, okay, I'm in this state. It's now time to come out of it because that's not helpful to me. So I come by this honestly. And I also really do practice what I preach, and recognize that our bodies are not meant to be beaten into submission, right? Like we're not a, contrary to popular discussion, we're not just one big personal development project. Like we are a human, and it is okay to sit in our imperfect states. What matters is how we return back into our bodies, how we return back into rest and digest. And the way that happens is lots and lots of little moments, lots and lots of little techniques, lots of recognizing how your body is feeling certain things in certain moments and deciding that you want to feel differently.
That was beautiful. I needed that. Ugh. Sometimes talking to you, Janelle, is just like, I know I've said this to you so many times, but it's like a giant hug for the soul. Like I love it.
I love that.
Um,
Thank you.
um, because I mean, it's true. Like, I think that we get caught up in like this, like even like personal development has like turned into this like rat race. Um, and and I think that our nervous systems pay the price for that. Um,
Absolutely.
yeah. So thank you for that. Um,
Yeah.
and so, okay, because we've covered we've covered a lot. I mean, when it comes to our nervous systems and nervous system regulation, like there is a lot to cover. And we could never cover all that there is to cover in one, you know, even one Aries season. But let's kind of like pare it down a little bit because if someone was feeling overwhelmed and didn't know where to start, what's like a first step that they should take today?
Yes. So I did have a quick technique that I wanted to teach y'all. I love this one. I use it myself all the time. What I love about it is that it's really simple and it's also really quick. You can do it anywhere, anytime, other than driving or handling any sort of heavy equipment. And I called an eye shifting technique. So it stimulates the vagus nerve, which is the main nerve system that regulates our nervous system. And I'll show you how I do it, but there are lots of different ways. So I like the tactile connection with my body. So I place one hand at the base of my skull, so right at the top of my neck. I place my other hand on my forehead and I close my eyes. And without moving my head, without opening my eyes, I shift my eyes over to one side, as far over as I can go. And when you first start doing it, it'll feel a little funny, maybe uncomfortable, and your eyes will kind of like start to shift back. You just keep guiding them back over to the direction as far as you can go. And you're going to stay in that position for up to a minute, or until your body enters the nervous system state that you're seeking. So until your body does something like an involuntary yawn or a swallow or a sigh, something like that. Your body is signaling it's shifting states. If you don't get it in that first direction, then you just shift over and do the other direction. And I've never not had a shift into rest and digest because it's that effective, that quick. And it's something that we can all easily do. I do it in bed if I'm having trouble sleeping because it works like a charm. I don't always like use my hands. I'm often like also just laying in bed and doing it. So it's really simple and quite effective.
That's awesome and super like accessible because there's a lot of like body work somatic exercises where it's like, well, if I'm driving in the car feeling overstimulated at a red light, I can't like stop what I'm doing, get on the ground and like wiggle my hips.
Right.
Which, those type of somatic exercises definitely have their time and place and effectiveness, but like I can't like stop what I'm doing in line at the
Right.
grocery store when I'm overstimulated and
Right.
wave my
Right.
ankles from side to side. But yeah, no, that's amazing. I love that. Um, well, and also, just to circle back to the incredible quiz and the offering, I wanted to plug that one more and remind that for those of you inside the membership portal that Jenelle has offered, correct?
Uh-huh. Yep.
Okay. Jenelle has offered that quiz and offering exclusive for the members inside the membership portal. And it is designed to give you a personalized, actionable way to start regulating in a way that actually works for you. And so, for anyone that wants to work with you on a deeper level, Jenelle, what is the best place for people to connect with you?
You can check out my website. I'm sure you'll link it below. My
Yes.
Instagram, I have lots of accessible tips and videos and whatnot on there as well. I also see clients one-on-one. If you're in Portland or you come and see me for a one-on-one session. But I also do nervous system work virtually. So my schedule links are in my bio and on my website, and they're really quite lovely.
And they'll all be in the description down below as well.
Thank you.
And just some final words of wisdom from you, Janelle. Is there any last message that you want to leave for someone who's been, I mean, for me, honestly, is there any last message that you want to leave for someone who's been struggling to regulate and feeling like nothing has been sticking?
I think that I would stress self-compassion and also a sense of curiosity because our dysregulated nervous system states, our fight, flight, freeze, are not meant to tell us that we're doing anything wrong. They're actually meant to communicate to us what our bodies need. And so, if we can, when we're in those states, rather than shaming ourselves for being in them and not doing the things, take them as a way that our bodies are communicating with us. They're telling us what they need. And so when we're in those states, if we can notice what our body is doing, then that is the way that it communicates what we need. Tuning in more from not a place of shame, but a place of curiosity and self-compassion will actually allow us to figure out what our bodies need in those moments.
Absolutely beautiful. Beautiful. Well, thank you so much for joining me, Janelle, and
Thank you.
I'm so looking forward to the live Q&A in the Facebook group with you on the full moon in Libra on April 13th, I believe.
Okay.
Right? I'll double check my calendar. But super excited about that. Because this was exactly the kind of conversation that like I know I needed, and honestly, everyone that I've been kind of like conversing with lately, I have has been kind of on in some way or another also needed.
Yes.
And to everyone watching, let me know what landed for you in the comments. I want to hear how you're going to take this and actually apply it because we're getting into Aries season. It's that new year, new me. Like, let's actually energetically, we're like getting things going, actually making things stick. Um, if you are ready to actually make those New Year's resolutions that you tried to get going back in the middle of winter when things weren't really going, now they're gonna go. So let's get these things actually sticking. We're here to support you. Uh, Follow along for more. Check the links down below. All right, love you. Bye.